Hello, I am Bhagwan Sri Ramakrishna Siva. I am an 80-year-old tantric mystic warrior master, an American guru, if you would. My job is to help you enhance the quality of the life that you have by just shifting a little bit the way you see it, and at the same time by giving you some tools that you can use that, if you're very lucky, will just knock your socks off. It's difficult initially to accept the idea that just a little bit of a shift in your awareness changes everything. This stuff is so cool. You guys are going to love it. God, which is all there is, operates so that everything that's available to you can be achieved by you if you're willing to do the work. There's no free ride. You pay me now, you pay me later. The idea is, how do you do the ride? The more you worry, the less you ride. You need to be with this stuff, guys, because this is magic. The more you worry, the less you ride. And joy in life comes from riding. If you can accept just a couple of little shifts in the normal way that you look at things, could really change who you are and what you are, and give you a greater understanding of why you are. You are so important to the universe. You cannot believe it. God can't flower until you do. My job's help you flower. Like a gardener, you know. A little water, a little bit head stuff. So, let's think of some things, kind of simple things that you could do that might help you get a greater understanding of who you are, what you are. The most important initial step is to understand that your soul has been forever and that you've had lots and lots of lifetimes. You and I have had at least 3 lifetimes together. In the beginning, one of my videos tells you the story about Boom. It's pretty interesting. Boom. It's messing with your head too. That's what Buddhas do, you know? God embodies us with this loving energy. And if you don't understand it, I'm here to help you out. We should talk, because that's why I'm here. I'm just reveling in the joy that I'm feeling as I do this. I've waited all my life and all of many, many lives before this one to get to the place. What place is it, Bhagwan? It's the place where the Great Awakening has just moved into super high gear. What goes on in your life from this day forward, if we're all lucky, is such a level of wonder and joy, you're just not going to believe it. And you'll start walking around just like I do, saying, thank you, God, thank you. Thank you, God, thank you. No judgment. Whatever is. The more you can understand that, the richer your life is. And everybody wants a rich life. Not about money. My walls would look different if money was here. It's about the heart of you and what you know about the heart of you and how it works. This is all magic stuff, guys. My world is mystical. Tantric mystic warrior master, okay? Whatever your beliefs, if you kind of look at it general, all the people in it, you'll find that if you cut through all the chaff that they put forward to separate them from you, they would be just like you. Everybody is just like you. In so many ways, it's unbelievable. So, games, I told you I'm going to teach you some games, right? Watch people. I'm not talking about, see, this is, to watch people is a very subtle thing. You can't be gawking at them, you can't do that. Softly, in the back plane. I'll tell you a great story. A lovely woman named Sharon came into my life once. And we had an occasion to go to a McDonald's that was still outdoors. That's how old I am, right? Because it was a wonderful summer night, and you could go there. I don't know whether we had jackets, but it was a nice night. Everybody standing. It's got a big crowd. And, of course, I'd been telling her all this mystical stuff, trying to get, and she did, by the way, trying to look beyond what she thought she knew and what everybody else that she thought you knew, to places where nobody you knew ever went, which is exactly where you belong. You belong with me. So, in order to facilitate that, getting off on a good start, I'm going to just share some little things. There's some, let's be simple. Remember I said in the beginning, it was really important that you developed at least a substantial understanding and or acceptance of the notion that who you think you are, this flesh, is just a car that your soul drives around. You think you have free choice. Nothing will mess you up worse than free choice. What you need to do is understand that God loves you so much. He's got you covered. Even if that means you're going to die next Thursday, He's got you covered. If you die a horrible death and you survive it right to the end and drop off. That's what your soul needed before it could go down to the next one, which should be a hell of a lot gentler, especially since this is the time of the Great Awakening. So, there are several ways that you can get a concrete, real live hair standing on the back of your head response in the understanding that, holy grapes, I actually have had many lives. I don't know how many. None of them matter. One of the first tenets of how God works. Each lifetime that you live only gives you one truth. Everything you're going through now, you already know all that stuff. Everything you're going to be going through up until the day you die, you already know all that stuff. You're remembering it and putting in new stuff that you've acquired so that you can know more. Knowledge. That's a wonderful thing. And it's available to all of us. So, in my initial videos, which I did, I don't know, 3 years ago or something like that. The first video is actually 1 hour and 15 minutes, but because YouTube only gave us 15 minutes at a time, it's broken into 5 pieces. It's listed under Bhagwan, Bhagwan, introduction. And go through those 5 segments, and then you can look to whatever other videos that are in there, and there's a whole slug coming. Yeah, so it's going to be a good time. If you take that initial step, it'll be easier for whatever the subsequent steps you decide to take. Okay? So, in the first video, there's a couple of really powerful meditations that could facilitate understanding, a deep understanding. It's been forever. Always. God loves you so much. He's been dragging your ass through the muck and the mire to bring you to now. And now is your reward. All those times before that you suffered and you died and you prayed and la 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 la, in the hope that you would go to heaven, well, you made it. It's crazy stuff, guys. I need you to the best of your ability, try and remember a personality that you had when you were, I don't know, 5, 6, 7. The ideal age is your mind is going like this, and you're completely innocent. So you're bringing new stuff in. And then try and embrace that mentality in everything you do. So here you are, you're adult, you're able to see everything exactly as it is, and you have all the cognitive powers to kind of put that into a working package. And yet in the back plane, you have this wonderful pre-adolescent entity, which is you, watching you. You need to understand that you're a partitioned being, man. There's all kinds of stuff going on in your brain. I'm going to tell you all about them, too. I'm not going to tell you what you go watch the first video, Bhagwan introduction, and those things will be in there. But there is one that's not in there that I will share with you, and this is actually pretty quick. Here, no danger, no nothing. Bhagwan says you've been forever. And some time back, you assumed the conscious flow of the species that led to now. I don't know where you picked it up, you might have been some little pee-pee shit, monkey, squirrel monkey or something like that. You might have been a rat in a sewer. But at some point in your journey toward awakening, that's when you can be with God while you're out doing nasty shit to your friend, because you've earned the right to do whatever it is you need to do. To understand it, it's all God. This stuff will break your brain, and you'll love it. What else? What else can you tell me? At the end of this, I'm going to give you a great gift. There you go. Stick with this video, and if you do, I'm going to give you a great gift. Buddhists can do that. Harder for regular guys. They can do it too, but usually they don't have the confidence to bring it up. When you start pulling from the entire universe to create realities for people, there's a certain amount of skill that's required. Lots of practice, lots of the pain, all those things that formulate and mold what you're becoming. Your objective is to do everything you can do today to enhance your ability to greet tomorrow without giving two shits about tomorrow. It's hard to do. If God wants to take you tonight, doesn't matter, does it? See, people let all kinds of crap get in their head. And 97, 80, 98% of it is just nonsense. A really well-developed and disciplined mind is quiet. Your ability to hear reaches out. Your ability to see reaches out. To touch. I refer to it as the center. God in full realization, which means light coming out of your ass in every direction you can imagine, is the ultimate square of that. And then the rest of us are in some varying degree of godliness. If you're going to go to heaven, you got to be godly. Can't be an angel. Those guys are all used up. Heaven for you is godliness. Excuse me. All right, what do I do with this? I drive myself into corners. We are what I call we, the collective one. God is everything. There is nothing that is or is not that isn't God. There are no words to describe it. You cannot imagine it. But if you're really lucky someday, boom, God will smack you up the side of the head and say, "Hey, Bobby, how you doing today?" And you get to be a guy like me, see? So, I've actually been reflecting on this because this was my one thing. What can I teach you tonight that might give you a chance to remember one of your lives? And you'll talk about this for the rest of your life. As I shared with you a little bit earlier, if you're here now, it's most likely you were some kind of a small, warm-blooded creature, on your way to being what we are now. You may have been humanoid, you might have been much lower down, because it depends on when this thing happened, okay? You had no weapons other than your wit. You weren't very big. You had no clothes. But here you were, by whatever means of evolution or a spark from God, the thing that started the path to you happened. All this time, God's stirring a pot. I think it's Lionsgate films. They produce a lot of movies. And in their beginning introduction is a set of intermeshing gears. That's kind of the way it is. Oh, this energy around you. It's everywhere. But it's all the same. So I'm going to teach you some games, quick games that you can do. Reach out. Feel your energy, and then see if you can consciously push it out. Okay? Warriors, when they get ready to go to battle right now, right? They pump because they want to pressurize their bodies. It enhances the oxygen flow, all the rest of those things. And every now and then, you'll catch a glimpse of yourself in the mirror as you go by, and you'll remember what you looked like when you were with me the last time. Isn't that neat? Mirrors are just wonderful. They are just wonderful. One of the meditations I told you about, where you can touch how long you've been around, how many times you've been around, is the meditation of 1,000 faces. That's a Zen Buddhist meditation. At least that's my impression. If I'm wrong, I apologize. But I was told when I acquired it that it was a Zen Buddhist meditation. And the idea is you do this kind of arduous, but you do it sitting in a chair, so it can't be too bad. But it taxes who you are, and it helps you focus your mind, that's for sure. But the Zen say that if you do this meditation, even if you're a brick, you do it 1,000 times, you'll be enlightened. Most people aren't going to take anywhere near 1,000. It took me 7. And the whole idea, the whole premise of the damn thing is you need to do this, put yourself up, boom. Holy shit, different face in the mirror. Oh my God. And I'm a charger, right? So first time it happened, I went, what the fuck? And then I said, oh, keep going. Boom. 7 times. And I understood. Never done the exercising, and I didn't need to, because once you, in the pursuit of who you are, every time you cross a little milestone, no matter how small it is, everything behind that milestone is obsolete. It has no meaning in your life unless you let it, from an emotional attachment circumstance. There's always trails to the stuff you do in life. We're a continuum, we're a flow. It just it goes on. One day, if you get to be like me, you won't hold any thoughts about tomorrow at all, or the past. The past was everything that was needed to get you right here, looking at me. That's what the Great Awakening is. So boom, 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 and awareness. And then you'll realize, and this is very important, that you don't know anything. Everything you think you know has just been given to you. Unless you've had near-death experiences, you've been shot up in combat. I mean, there aren't car accidents. There are real things that take it close enough to that transitional state between flesh and blood and spirit, to where you get glimpses. Most people shrug them off because they don't know what to do with them, and nobody else does. I do, fortunately, so I can help you with all those things. But maybe you're somebody who gets angry all the time. Boy, that little thing, it's gonna set you off. It doesn't take much. Drop a pin and holy Christ, there you are, you're going to war. Well, you know it's not what people are doing that's doing that. You see, you're a wreck. Not an unrepairable wreck, but a wreck. Because somehow, along the way getting to where we are now, you let people piss you off. I'm sorry, but if you're somebody who gets angry, you got shit for living skills. That's why I'm here. I'm an old guy who knows lots of, maybe I can tell you that without you getting pissed off and lashing out at people. There's no sin. I don't like that word, but yeah, that's a good word. People are comfortable with that. How do we do this? If you take I wound down a path I didn't want to go, and it just doesn't fall. So I'm going to shift back to giving you games that you can play. Okay. In my world, because we are partition beings, all the personalities that you've developed in your life since the moment you were conceived are still in your brain. Most of them are content. I call them the parts. Most of them are content because they progress through their life like they should have. You know, and they were this, they evolved in that. But some of them aren't. Some of them are really pissed off. Those of you who have a lot of stuff going in your head, you know what I'm talking about here. Most of the disruptive stuff that my many years has shown comes from injuries. Mostly physical, but a lot psychological. Because of the force of a physical thing, it's easy to imprint that on your head, you know. But the subtle stuff, that's cumulative. And if your parents say you were a worthless piece of shit 1,000 times, well, guess what? I'm going to teach you a secret, but this is where the work comes in. Because of who you are, because of the way your brain works, you had to be trained to do what you do. Everything you know has come to you through some form of training. You could have had a terrible accident, you know not to do that, okay? If your life sucks, what you have to do is say to yourself, oh, you are such a wonderful thing. Every time I look at you in the mirror, I love you. Every morning when my eyes open, I say to myself, God, I get to look at you and understand what a marvelous, wonderful creature of God that you are. So much light coming out of you. Not everybody can see it. It's always the same amount of, look at, we are powerful engines, okay? There's light coming out of us like you can't believe. But you can lock it. You can put sheets, dark sheets over it. No light. You need to immerse yourself in your light. and the light of other people. So I know this has happened to you. You walked in and you looked over at somebody, or you caught somebody out of the corner, and holy Christ, they got this, it's called a halo, they got this bright light wrapped around them. That's real stuff. Those guys are real close to God. That's how, I am the light, come to me. The permeation of light is how people judge you. So if you radiate a lot of light, people want to be around you. If you don't radiate light, people don't want around you. So all you guys who are nasty guys, try lightening up. I thought about this last night. I want you to feel better too. It's a cumulative thing. If your life's fucked up, you're not going to fix it in a day or a week or listening to a Bhagwan. Maybe if God grabbed you by the ass and you'd know. That's real too. Oh my. Little wins. I know you know about this. If you can't get big wins, maybe you get a little win over here. And since most of the times that you feel down and beat up is because of the accumulation of little shit that's just coming at you from every direction. Work on that. Identify a really little shit, something that's just a little nuance, and bring it back into your consciousness and say, why was I upset about this? About, if it's little stuff, about 80%, when you open it up and look at it, you realize, oh, that's dumb. I don't even know what that was. Everything's mystical. Your head is just such an unbelievably, I don't have a word. What happens is I'm pretty good. But some things just aren't no words. Like an orgasm, how could you pick a single word that would describe an orgasm? And then are we talking about a little pee-pee shit orgasm? Or are we talking about a whoa, toe curling, eyes bulging, woman faints kind of an orgasm? It kind of make a difference in how it would be perceived, huh? Oh, I can't do any of that kind of stuff for you, but little tidbits, okay? I bounce, because that's the way your mind doesn't want to focus on one thing. Check, 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 boom, check, check. Primary focus. All the stuff they tell you not to bring in. If you have discipline over it, it's wonderful. Because sometimes if you're focused, you miss the left turn, or the right turn, or the oblique, You need to understand your foreverness. So I shared with you, I've been thinking about this. This is the easiest thing, and you can do it tonight, and it won't cost you a penny. Pick a closet in your house. I don't care how big the closet is. The smaller, the better, actually. You could even do this in a bathroom. The value of the closet is that if you do it in the bathroom, you got stuff to hang on to. And that'll allow you to stay grounded in the now, because you're hanging on for, life on the sink or the toilet. If you're in a closet, there's nothing to hang on to. Don't leave any clothes hanging. Don't have anything up on a shelf. It's got to be completely empty. Go outside. as it gets close to dusk. And reach out in whatever you have of a yard or walk out front, but let the sky be there. Breathe the air. And try and imagine what it would have been like had you been an early pre-human whatever you are, with no weaponry or anything else. Night is coming, and they come. The predators. You wouldn't believe how nasty they are. You go into the closet, you shut the door, you turn all lights out, no cell phones, no noise in the background, and you stay in there until morning. Some of you will slide through it, but most of you will have a really profound experience. You'll realize that you are a cave person stuck in a cave somewhere. And all of a sudden, whatever your precognition of what that should have been, unless it's in coincidence, would just dissolve. And if it dissolves, then a lot of things that you might have based on what you thought was there might dissolve too. And if you're really lucky, you'll love it, but it'll make everybody you know crazy. It has to. You're Tom, Dick, or Harry, you're sliding down the road, and all of a sudden God smacks you up the ass and says, hey, you and me now. How do you? I couldn't explain it to my wife. Yeah, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard. But the purpose of that is to get you to understand that there's so much more to you. That you deserve to know it. There's wild and crazy people like me out there and teach you things you never even thought about. Never even thought about. I don't want to make this too long. I was going to tell you a bunch of little neat things that you could do that would, hug a tree kind of stuff. That's a good idea, by the way. I am just going to give you the gift. Okay? Fortunately, I happen to have a spare. Most of you have a cell phone. All the pain that you feel is a result of your mind responding to your programming over the course of your life, and any real physical shit like broken arms and legs, stuff like that. But most of your pain is in your head. You create the energy. One day, if we're lucky, if you let me help you, you might just say, well, that's nonsense. Okay. Pain comes from stuff that's not going well in your life. Anger is worse. There are so many angry people. Why are they angry? Their life sucks. Why does it suck? Why don't they have what they want? Why don't they have what they want? They don't know how to get it. They don't have the skills to get it. They don't have the blah, 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 blah to get it. So, when I tell you this, you're going to say, what? Duh. Just ask for it. Maybe you're going to let me be your master teacher. That would serve both of us. I would get some notoriety so I can do a better job of what I'm supposed to do, and you would benefit from whatever wisdom I might be able to share with you so that you could share it with other people. And you would then become the wise one. I promise you, you listen to all my videos, you'll, you'll do just fine. People will come to you, they'll want to know it, they want to know what you know. Just like you should be wanting to know what I know. It's all about you. We're all here for you. All the other people in the world, they're just to make it look like it's a world, for real. It's just God and you. I'm an intermediary today. They've always been intermediaries. They call them Buddhas or saviors or, no. Oh, my. So first I'm going to share with you an idea you may have a little bit of difficulty with, and then I'm going to give you the gift. People ask me what religion I am. They say, whose teachings do you teach? And the answer is, I have no religion. I came from Catholicism. If you want to be a Christian, it's a good religion to have. Although, if you live down south in some small rural communities, they don't believe Catholics are Christians. I was in the South a lot when I was in the Marine Corps. I found that, of course, being a Catholic, I just found that to be incredulous. Yeah. Wonderful days in the Marine Corps. But that's not what we're talking about. Where's God? You're right there. If you found this tape, you're right there. How do I know that? Yeah. When we were together the last time was when you became enlightened and I was your master teacher. The soul that resides inside of me has never not had feet on the ground. When this old wreck that I cart around here decides it's out of gas or gets terminated, whichever same basic result, my soul will just leap right out and within a microsecond or a nanosecond be riding a sperm cell into some woman's womb. That's why I know so much. I've been around forever. Now, what's important is, so have you. And that if we could have these exchanges, and how do you exchange with me? You read comments. You're in the bank. You had a question, ask me the question. I'll see if I can answer it for you. It is going to be through this magic. You have no idea what the power of this thing is. No idea. It is the single greatest gift that God's given me in all of the times that I've been. Nothing like this. Nothing like this. So, I was using this before. I said, we got these cell phones. So, I'm going to give you a gift. I'm going to take away your pain. I get my phone here to where I can use it. I want to put this, because this is really serious stuff. This might change your whole life if you do it tonight. And it's easy to do, right? Somewhere, well, first of all, if you don't have any pain in your life, well, then this won't matter. You might just listen because you could share it with someone else. It's really, really easy. Bhagwan says he's the Buddha. when you're this far out, there's only one of two possibilities, right? One, overwhelming by such a huge quantity, I don't even know if there's a number. This old guy's full of shit. But one, only takes one. It's always been that way. Only takes one extra push to go over the top. One young man is willing to give up his life to save a bunch of them. One is the difference. One is lonely, but, Three Dog Night, loneliest number. We're one thing. Our consciousness fuses with all that is once we get unafraid enough to let it out. Really hard. It's really hard to let it out. It's a terrifying thing. Being a Buddha in so many different ways sucks. Because all the expectation that God has of the work that you're doing and what you guys would expect your Buddha to be able to give you. I got something in my eye here, and I don't want to break this flow. So, my job is to help you be happy. And the only way I'm going to be able to do that, boom, like that, is to teach you, no, wrong word, to give you a way to get rid of your pain tonight. First, at least on a fundamental level, you need to accept the fact that maybe I'm at least some kind of Buddha, and that I might have abilities that you really wouldn't consider someone to have. I'm probably going to regret this. But that's part of my journey, right? The Buddha busts his balls continuously so he can know stuff so you can laugh and learn. Oh, I'm going to digress because something really beautiful happened tonight. I watched Ryan Reynolds' movie, Deadpool 2. Wow. I don't know if you know who Ryan Reynolds is. I mean, most people recognize him as an actor. But I promise you, big-time master teacher. And he's a man with money, too, so he can actually facilitate stuff. Can you imagine that? To have a brain like he does. And he's pretty. Oh, Jesus. Was he in, how did he get to stand in all the right minds in heaven when they were doling out, stuff? But the movie's magnificent. It's got all kinds of silly shit. Of course, that's the way he designs it, so that he slides in. In the lighthearted form, the end made me cry. Of course, I'm serious. You'll get seriously oversensitive when you begin to understand. With understanding comes appreciation, awareness. And this beautiful young man, he's creating boom, boom, stuff's exploding all around you. And here's a wonderful piece of truth you should know. Watch the whole movie, because some of the stuff, my wife couldn't deal with it. She watched it, but she didn't have a single ounce of joy from it. And I was just laughing and chuckling. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. More than I've enjoyed anything for a long time. And the highlight of it was Mr. Reynolds' performance. I salute you, sir. Hope to meet you someday. You're the real deal. Coming from me, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So, here's another gift that a Buddha gets. I get to use all these Buddhas. In that movie, there were several truths that everybody needs to understand. And they were presented in such a palatable fashion. It's almost hard not to at least suck one or two things out of it. And if you're someone like me, it'll make you cry. In response to the excellence and the grace with which Mr. Reynolds demonstrates his craft. Tomorrow, tomorrow, sorry I jumped off track, but this is very important to me. I stay with my ex-wife. I'm just getting out, but after my wife died, it was a mess. She's gonna go see Avatar with me tomorrow, The Way of Water. And fortunately, we live in a huge metropolitan area. They have IMAX theaters here, so I'm going to take her. I don't think she's going to enjoy it at all. And I'll probably go gaga, because I think that the first movie was, if not the most, top 5 anyhow, best movies I've ever seen. From the visually stunning and spiritually moving things. So everything's God. Mr. Cameron's real good. You gotta know God's got him touched up and down. And all of it's for you. Isn't that nuts? It's almost impossible to imagine. And then one day you'll understand it. It's called a juxtaposition, right? Here you are. You're doing whatever you're doing. Somebody like me is bang, bang, throwing little shots at you, trying to break down your defenses, you know? Because we want to put one, boom, right there, right in the middle. Boom. His thought, boom, holy mackerel, don't be giving me those thoughts. Those thoughts are seeds, and we all know about mustard seeds. Now we're going to talk about how to help you lose some pain. Your being, that part of you which we are going to be addressing, has the ability to use the physiology of your body to do certain things if you have a means by which to do it. The more complex the thing, the more variables have to be in place. This is the first time in the history of the world that this has ever been able to, has anyone ever been able to do this. Buddhas in monasteries have been doing it since the dawn of time, but you gotta go sit in a monastery. And you might have to sit on your ass for 5 years before you're deemed worthy to even see the habit. And Costello won't be with him, you know, I mean, it's that kind of a situation. In order for me to take your pain away, now, today, I need you first to surrender to that, at least possibility, that I could be the Buddha I say. That's very, because if I'm not going to be any good to you. Okay? And what will happen, if you can, you'll do what I'm going to tell you to do now. I want you to go through this video and find a picture of my face where my eyes seem intense to you. I don't want that doofus, you know, but someplace comfortably where you can see the image of me. I want you to think of your pain. Your body stores the pain that your mind could not accept at the time the pain was being administered. So, If you were raped as an infant, your mind will erase it. But your body and your mind will remember it. Parts. You got to have at least 10,000 parts up there. I wouldn't be amazed if it's way more than that. Better your mind, the more parts. If that happened to you when you were young, that memory is still locked in. That little part is part of what's causing your pain. It wants to come out. It's telling you, there's a way. Listen to this fucking Bhagwan guy. He knows a way to get it out. Take your phone. You may want to do this when you're alone. See how I got it in between my hands? If you kind of roll it around, you can feel there's some pressure points in that point, in your wrist, your palms rather. Oh my. I want you to focus your breathing. Link the breath with the exhale. You can rock if you want or sit straight. I'm just, trying to show that I'm breathing in a rhythmic fashion. At the same time, I want you to start remembering your pain while you're looking at my face in this phone, in your phone. And you push like you're trying to play an accordion, a squeeze box. You push your palms against your phone and accept whatever pain that might cause you. If you're really going to do this and you're trying to get rid of pain, there's going to be a lot of energy. This is kind of a way to dissipate it while you can, and keep you focused on what you're doing. So you got this going, you're pushing on it, and you're remembering all that pain, that shit's roaring all over your body. Look into my eyes and send it to me. Just believe that I am the Buddha that can accept that. Look in my eyes and send me your pain. It's really interesting because I've never been able to do this before. Remember, this is the first time in the history of the world that a single master teacher could talk to the whole world at one time. That's the Great Awakening. When will the Great Awakening come? Well, when a single master can talk to the whole world at one time. Da-da. Here I am. Think about how crazy that is. I am the fruition of every prophecy that you guys believe in. It's just the way it is. It's coming to a head. All of that stuff doesn't matter. Start shifting your mind out of books. Books are nonsense. Did they have a time and a place? Absolutely. But if you're getting your guidance out of a book, you're seriously depriving yourself. Anything that, you know how long it takes to write a book? Even if you get it first edition, it's already old news. And while you can learn skills and attributes from a book and an instructor who's telling you how to interpret the book, but you got to touch it to really understand it. The more you touch, the more you know, the more understanding you have, less grief. Less grief. So, you guys who so choose to do this are going to send me your pain. See my face as the face of whoever it is was your tormentor. And call me every name. Just let it fucking out. Yeah, why would you carry pain if you got some old guy who's willing to take it off your hands? What will I do with it? Make myself strong. I'm going to save the world. You got to be strong. Your pain will make me strong. And you'll feel wonderful about it. I love you. I hope you find this to be the neatest video you've ever watched. Tell your friends how it starts. Call your friends up and say, Jesus Christ, listen to that old man. I love you.